Good morning. I am higher vibrations, and so are you. And there's been all kinds of technical difficulties on my end. It's been crazy. We are currently in the partial solar eclipse. So if you live in the Southern Pacific Ocean area, I suggest that you go out and check out that eclipse. We won't see it here in the States. But this partial solar eclipse is happening right now. I was looking at a live stream from New Zealand just now. It started officially, oh goodness, like 10 minutes ago. And will go on for about another 30 minutes or so. So if you are like in New Zealand or Australia, South Pacific Ocean area, then you'll be able to go out and see it. This moment is exactly the same moment that the moon is it became the new moon. And I know that a lot of the calendars here in the States will say that the equinox is actually tomorrow, when it's not. It's now. It all happens all at the same time. It's all lunar. It has nothing to do with a date on a calendar. So anyway, right now in this moment, we're getting a huge influx of energy, and we have been for a couple of days. Usually there's a 2 days before, 2 days after, at the very minimum, when it comes to these incredible energies, and so we've been feeling it for a few days, and now we will feel it for another few days, but we're in it right now at this second. So as this happens, we notice that a lot of the different physical sensations we've been experiencing, that we count as ascension symptoms, that we consider ascension symptoms, are increased right now. And what is an ascension symptom? That's why I kind of like hesitated. I was thinking to myself, we should talk about that, because a lot of people don't know exactly what that is. An ascension symptom is some type of evolution in self that that embodies or comes through as often a physical sensation. Many times we've misdiagnosed ourselves, or assumed there was something greater going on in our physical form, and gone in to see a doctor, and they're like, you're fine, thinking you're a hypochondriac or something like that. Lots of other experiences where doctors will give you prescription medication, and say, well, let's see if this helps, and it does maybe quiet or hide the symptom for a little while, and then it resurfaces. So we've been taught throughout the earlier years. I know they don't teach this anymore, so some people don't even remember this. Is that they used to teach us that 90 to 95% of our DNA was junk, and now they're discovering it's actually dormant DNA. It's DNA abilities, basically, in dormancy during a time where it's you're not able to access it for whatever reason. And we're finding that as we ascend, and have all this increased solar activity and the celestial stuff that's coming in, that this DNA is turning on. And as this dormant DNA turns on, there are growing pains. Like, so something happens. We notice it in our bodies. Right now, we're having a lot of things happening. Diet's been really affected. There's a lack of appetite. Some people are saying they're ravenous and they're eating a lot more. Though this is something that typically will happen, especially during an increase in energy, as today, where we're in the equinox. Today is the equinox. I know that the calendars in the north a lot of times will say that it's not, but today's the equinox. We're currently in the partial solar eclipse right now. Again, if you're tuning in from the south, the Southern Pacific, like New Zealand and Australia and stuff, are seeing the partial solar eclipse right now. The new moon just became new, completely. And then also the equinox lines up with that. So we're in this amazing energy window right now. And so we'll notice that as this dormant DNA comes out of dormancy, we'll have, a lot of like pangs and uncomfortable things in the body, like this weird dizzy floatiness that's happening right now. A lot of us are having this weird, I was taught, it's the multidimensionality that we're becoming more aware of, as we find ourselves suspending ourselves above what we call the confines of what we call time. It's like time is the time slippage, time is speeding up, time is difficult to be within, and all of that kind of thing. And then also this heart stuff, the upper chest and heart, a lot of this like activation, feeling like almost a quivering or like a vibration in this area. A lot of reports regarding the arms in particular, though it's been surprising to hear how many people have been asking about the neck and upper back. And I've been having it too, and it's like on the shoulder blade stuff. Like it feels like pins and needles almost for me. It feels like some new energy is coming online, and it does to me line up very much with what we've done this before, and it feels similar to what is an energetic wing activation. I know it sounds silly and odd, but we do have appendages of our body that are energetic that don't manifest in a physical way, at least don't yet. I don't know what that's going to be like, but and so as we ascend, we continue to notice not just physical sensations, but I wanted to talk about this because there's a lot of reports about people getting their gifts. So we're having like psychic gifts is what some people would say, or the clairs, so we have, clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, all these different clairs. And so I just say clairs because we all have these things, all of them. Some of us are a little bit more practiced at some of them than others. And so, it's just how it is, but we all have them. And these are coming online. Most people are noticing, seeing orbs of light is the most common thing. Usually, not always. Usually you'll first notice it being introduced from the left peripheral. I'm actually mirrored, so I'm doing my right side to show you left. I'm learning how to, I don't know how to turn that off. Anyway, and so like this orb will come in and we'll notice it. And every time that we look directly at it with the physical eye, especially early on, we'll lose some of the seeing of it. Like it seems like it disappears because of that. So and then also too, the seeing the silhouette of the energy, it looks like a real faint, like these little lines right here on the outside of this background of mine, kind of like that, just a very faint aura around a shadow. People will notice it as a shadow inside, and often it's only because we're seeing their aura, and your aura is really wide. It extends very far out. And so you'll see just that part that's the brightest, and that's why it looks that way. If you don't know, if you're concerned, if they're coming in for loving reasons or otherwise, the best way to find out right away, why I do it every time. It's whether or not it's like caller ID kind of, is I send love to it. That thing that happens inside of you, just as you're just beginning to say, I love you to someone you love so deeply, that sense, that energy that comes up right there, that's you sending love. The voice follows. It's always this energy first, then the voice. There's always a delay. And so that's why people who are really big in communicating psychically, telepathically, will kind of be ahead of the conversation, is that you already said it. And so doing that, sending that love, what happens there is that if it is of love, then it will send back love and an amplified quantity from what you had sent. If it is not of love, it will flee, for the shadow cannot stand before the light. And what you're sending, light is love and love is light. There are no separating the two, so it's just really cool to kind of be able to know what it is. And then once you kind of become aware of who and what the energy is coming in for, it really makes it a lot easier to interact, because you're not like, can I trust the information that's coming in or what it is, and before I jump to your questions in comments, I see a lot of people here. Welcome everybody. Is that there is a lot of increase in lucidity and dream recollection, on my end, as well as a lot of other people. The amazing reports that I've been getting the past couple of days is pretty profound. One in particular I had last night, that I was walking with my guides. It's one of those lucid dreams where that you're not really in a dream, but you're playing along kind of, but everybody knows you're not really in the dream. And I was walking with my guides, and they brought us to this cave. And this cave had a pool of water, and the pool of water was like moving in just a way that it made the ceiling and the walls light up like diamonds, with the light. And I approached, and I knew I wanted to drink from this pure spring. And as I was, these they look kind of like orca whales lovingly came up. They had these white tattoos on them. They were amazing. And just then, like, this beam of light was coming from the pool of water and into the ceiling. It was like this blue, white, beautiful light. And as I was kind of taken aback to behold it, I heard this amazing monotone chanting of this ancient language. And I looked around me, and all around the edges of the pool were all of these tribesmen, these ancient ones. And they were all like so glad that we stepped into the circle, because we were taking the place of where we were meant to stand, in this powerful place. And as we did this beam of light started to move this light into us, like in a circular way. And as it did it filled up every one of us more and more. And we were able to eliminate the barriers between each other. We no longer had to have that need for privacy, because no one was presenting themselves to do you any harm. So there was no longer a need to hide anything. This stream of light that became like almost like a web of light then kind of echoed up through the cosmos and down through the mother of earth. It was just beautiful. And so anyway, that was my experience last night. I know a lot of people, when I woke up and just at that moment when the light started to flow and the connection happened, and everyone just smiled like in the circle, and I was awake, and that was just one amazing experience. I'm excited about that. That stuck with me enough that I'm not going to, I see how that's applying right now in this now moment, in this equinox. Then the equinox, so for us, the September equinox is the first day of fall here in the northern hemisphere, and the southern hemisphere is the first day of spring. And so I'll notice that there's a lot of us that talk from afar that notice our suns are aligned, like one is setting while the other is rising right now. It's really fun. So Vanya says, hi Mila, hi guys, hope you're all having fun with the current energies. Have you felt the shift? It's huge. Oh, feels like I'm in a totally different place and time altogether. Truly amazing. OMG. Yes. 100% Vanya. If anyone's commented before this comment, I'm not going to be able to see it. So if you have something that you've written that you'd like me to see, please rewrite it, because that's just how this thing works. It only shows up the first person comments when I first go live. So just say hello to Julianne. Hello. Thank you for coming. Welcome. Deborah says, we won't see it, but boy, we can feel it. Yes, we can. We're still in it officially. I think it has another 10 minutes on it, where you'll be in that energy of specifically the action of the partial eclipse that's occurring. Though this is such a powerful window of time. If you do get a chance to do something in sacred embrace of the energy, ceremony of some kind, meditation, a moment of contemplation, just quieting yourself for a moment, whatever it is, take a bath, go for a walk, sit on the grass, something it's really useful to help, because these energies, as they come in, they're gifts. It's, you can choose to get into the shower with the umbrella or not. I always say I'm going in with the buckets, because I'm going to collect that awesomeness as it's coming in. I'm going to take this pillow off. It's making me have to hunch down to be able to be in the camera. I like to have a more steady posture, but when we're on the camera, I kind of want to be in the anyhow. And so observing this energy and using the gifts of it while it's coming in, So yeah, we're still currently in the eclipse, and it'll go on for about another 9 minutes or so. And this is also the same moment of the new moon, and this is also the same moment of the equinox. So it's a lot of cool stuff coming in. But yeah, we can feel it all right. Whoa, good word. Okay, I'm probably okay. Hello, Patriot Hero. Oh, I almost forgot. Today is my birthday too. Oh, happy birthday, Patriot Hero. Awesome. Well, happy birthday. Happy solar return. That's a lot of wow, what a day to have a birthday. That's really neat. I've met some people with portals, but that's a really intense one. Christina, hello, moon magic and love to all. Good to see you. I've been meaning to send you a message. We are on for our plans. Ears ringing like crazy, Rockstar M5. Yes, yes, yes. It's been, and the vibration stuff comes along with the ear ringing, I'm finding most often. It seems like the ears are just kind of like a side effect of the side effects. You know what I mean? It feels like it's crazy. It's really fun. It's fun energy if we understand what it is. I'm noticing that my neighborhood's getting there were more angry voices echoing off the houses in this little neighborhood today. And I'm saying that to say a lot of people don't know what's going on, why they're feeling the way they are. Will often initially feel that disruption and that anger, kind of energy. And so you're able to transmute it. That's what I was doing. So I was just sitting out on my back patio door and just kind of like transmitting that energy, sending love. Though when I send it now, I send it like an appendage. Those like sticky balls that have like a string and you like throw it at something and catch a piece of paper and bring it back. That's kind of only not catching anything. That's kind of what it is. Just that's how I send out love now. You're not meant to like give something of yourself away. You're meant to instead just share it, and then it's yours still. It leaves something awesome. And I noticed, you can notice almost immediately, all of a sudden it quiets down. People start, you even hear someone saying, why are we fighting? I don't know. Like you can hear it. Everybody's windows are open today because it's just a light rain. It's finally cooled down to 84 degrees kind of thing. So anyway, and so if you're going out today, just keep that in mind. If you're going out among the muggles, the non-magical folk or those who don't know, just be aware of that you don't have to, be concerned or worried. It's just once you know what's happening, we can then do something about it instead of feeling helpless or something like that. Hi, Chef Deb. Hey, Mila. A really good astrologer I love to watch is Leo King. A plethora of information. Check him out someday. Leo King. Awesome. I definitely will. I appreciate that. You don't see a lot of male astrologers anymore. So that would be fun. Leo King. I'll have to remember that. That'll be easy. Hey, y'all. Good to see you, Rose Matter. Hey, 88 people here. There's a lot of 8 references happening for me right now. It's been really interesting. Yes, it's all at once now. That's right. Genevieve, yes, it is. And I just find that to be so interesting, right? That they're like, it's on the calendars, it's on your, like with the national calendar people and whatever. It's all based on a date rather than the moon phase. And something like this, what it does is it marks the moment that everything it's lined up on the equator, right? And so there's an equal number of hours for daylight as there is night. And same is true for the southern hemisphere, so the northern and the southern hemisphere. And it's based on the moon. It's got nothing to do with the date. So it's really interesting. Pardon me. So floaty. Yes, it is so floaty. And this in-between realm stuff. We're doing a lot of remote or distant healing these days too. A lot of us don't even realize we're doing it when we're in it. And what I'm talking about this is that we'll be considering someone or even an event from long ago. And it's not like morbid reflection style. It's like really in this wow of it. you know, and as we're connecting back and just realizing the different perspectives of these stories and empowering ourselves, perhaps even changing a story, what we're doing is called quantum healing, but it's something more now. Something's been added to the pot, you know, like it's that awesome stew, but then someone brings like in the best, you know, root vegetables or whatever it is, you know, and like just changes it. And that's what's just happened. So now when we're doing this quantum healing, we're doing this remote healing, this remote, like you're noticing that more than ever before, that when you go back to your child self and approach the situation, maybe as the adult that's like stopping the person that's causing you harm as a younger person, going in and comforting yourself or whatever, that we're noticing it not only changes how we feel in our present moment because we're now healed, but then we'll go back and look through our life and notice that there are actual changes that have occurred in our life, like that we've actually improved all of the days that we already had in a way that that's not how it occurred for this consciousness. It's it's very awesome, and all you have to do is just go into meditation. It doesn't have to be deep meditation. It's kind of like daydreaming, and you're going back and rescuing yourself, assisting yourself, you know. So it's just really amazing. I've had goosebumps lots today. I love those tingly buggers. That's awesome, Rose Matter. Yeah, you know, we're having a lot of confirmation. We call those truth bumps in some of the circles I flow in, and there's just a lot of fun other words that are used for this, but it's 100% confirmation. It's spirit. It's beautiful. You know, I love the goosebumps that are inspired by music. That's my favorite kind of goosebumps. Those are fun. But then, you know, when we're having these conversations and you have these goosebumps, or you're having these thoughts, these moments, these epiphanies come through, and you have the goosebumps, it's often an acknowledgement of an energy that's present. How I interpret that, you know, and it's truth bumps. Hey, Diamond Heart 888. She's going to be on the show on Wednesday, I believe. Like, I haven't got the extra confirmation, but that's what I have on the docket. I need to put up the link and attachment stuff. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun conversations. So let's celebrating. She says, celebrating us all one. Love to all. Love you, Mila. Look forward to Wednesday. Awesome. Okay, cool. Both of us. Yay, cool. So her partner Sven also will be joining. This will be a fun conversation. A lot of you may have seen our show we had a while back. I don't remember how long ago it was, where Sven and Charmony came on, and it's just such an awesome, fun conversation to be in this space with the two of them. So if you do get a chance, this will be live on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, in just a couple of days. So both of us off to nature to play and ground. Unity, harmony, one. Awesome. I'm glad that you're out going into nature. That's really, if you can do that, that's so good right now. It's more today. I don't know what that, but I know it's not for me, so it's for Rose Matter. Dizzy, but not vertigo dizzy. Yeah. Rapid heartbeats and strange chest pains. Yes, Kim. All of the above. I'm noticing it too. It's weird. It's like it feels. I combine a lot of things together. Oh, more intense. She meant to say, by the way, earlier, Genevieve's comment. She meant to say, it's more intense today. It is more intense today. Dizzy, but not having not vertigo dizzy. Yeah, it's like lightheadedness, sort of dizzy. If you feel kind of like not quite balanced, like you feel off kilter, almost like those old V8 commercials where everybody's walking sideways. I feel like that. I feel like I'm not leaning into the gravity the right way. Like I'm not sure where the gravity goes anymore. It feels weird, and being connected simultaneously to so many different realms is what it really truly feels like. That it's causing it. I'm noticing it's causing a difficulty in knowing where to put my feet, I guess is what I'm saying. It's weird inside my mind and head as well as my body. It's happy Sunday to you as well. Yeah, I have yet to come up with a good word for that, Kim, but I know exactly what you're talking about. It's all of those things combined and to make a different word. I should give those words to Maddie and have her come up with it. She's really good at with inventing words like nervited. I love nervited, nervous and excited at the same time. And that's a lot of what we're feeling right now too. A lot of us are feeling it. I'm noticing from spirit, they're excited. They're like, yes, you're here. You made it. It's time. Let's, it feels like that part where you're like going to go do the thing you've been waiting to do, like your whole child life, as a child. And then that's the time that, now your mom's like, go brush your hair. It's like that last minute where it's time to go, And that's what it feels like. Go to the bathroom. Those moments, that's that nervited. That's that part. That's where I'm noticing we're really being centered in right now. Anyone still having mouth? Yes, actually, I am. Having tongue. Excuse me. Let me say this again. Anyone still having mouth, tongue, gums, and teeth issues? I'm noticing some weird stuff with I'm getting like these blister type things inside of my mouth. That's weird for me. I had it as a young child. I used to have it a lot, I remember. And then it just stopped. But yeah, I'm noticing that just the past day or two, actually. Also, the flavor in the mouth isn't all that fantastic. Again, it tends to be, these symptoms tend to be connected to purging. As well as something to do with the throat chakra. A lot of us have been working really, been existing in the development of the heart chakra and even the higher heart. And now we're really noticing this return to the throat chakra stuff. So I'm definitely echoing what you're experiencing too. You guys talking to each other, excuse me. Sinus and teeth pressure. Yeah. And then, like noticing just a rawness. Is anyone, like the roof of my mouth just feels raw. Like there's something, I've been like doing more like salt rinses and stuff. That's my solution to this stuff. And, you can just as easily as anything else, you can get like, just put salt inside your water, and like just carry that around. Or, I have a little salt shaker that I'll like also just like sprinkle under my tongue. But when it comes to this type of stuff, you want to rinse with room temperature or warm water that's, got a bunch of salt in there. I will rinse and then I'll also drink it too. Not to say that they're together. Sometimes I'll spit that and drink some. Anyway, that really does help. There's something going on here for sure though. Most of us have a lot of blockages on the throat chakra. And it's interesting how many people I've talked to the past couple of days that have got throat chakra stuff going on right now. Energetically speaking, that's what spirit is talking to them about when we meet. And so I find that to be really interesting. Out of the mind and into the heart. Yes. XOXO, sending you love, Diamond Heart 888. Yeah, it's more of us are being reminded to do this, to exist in this space, this heart, this beautiful place, where our true self resides. Deborah, seeing lots of beautiful blue orbs. Blue ones, cool. All right, 111. That was a little bit ago. I guess I'm a little bit farther behind than I realized. It's good to see you, Donna. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Love to you, Mila. Love to you, Kim. It's good to see you. Having the experience of not understanding the words people are using, it's like my mind has moved out the back of my head, still attached, just not inside anymore. Christina, you're so funny. I love your visuals. That's hilarious and true. I know exactly what you're talking about. Me too. Also, the access to vocabulary has been like ebb and flow. Like 1 minute, like I could be in mid sentence or paragraph is usually how I speak, right? And just perfect flow, all kinds of awesome, great use of vocabulary. And then I'm stumped and I can't think of any words, and what stumps me is typically something as simple as like spoon, right? Trying to like chair, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy, but there's a lot of that. People are talking about that too. Been learning lots about my soul mission the last couple of days. Cool, says Rose Matter, and seeing gifts brought more forward as tools I can use for helping myself and others. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, that is, man, when we get to embrace that and have that knowing, it makes things a lot easier. You know, one little trick that I was told by Archangel Michael back when I was being shown how to work with people when I was incredibly introverted. I went through some things that led to this introvertism that really kind of picked up in 2012, of course. Um, hey, it's 333 now, and they showed me that I would be working with people, and I was very overwhelmed by that concept. And I was like, no, no, that's not going to happen. That was before I did YouTube or anything, and I was like, there's no way. And what Archangel Michael told me was, if it's not fun, it's not your job. And that really calmed down the concern for me. You know, I was like, okay, that's all right. And I'm noticing that in the world. And you know, letting yourself have fun in the things that you're doing. And if it's not possible, then that's not what you're meant to be doing. You know, there are moments that exist inside of things that lead up to the things that are fun. And that's not the same thing, I find, for me, but it's something that, and so it really helped to unburden me. I wasn't so overwhelmed by what was to come. You know, it's useful because all things in spirit are melodic and playful. It's all playful and musical, right? All of it. And then everything in between, you know, is it comes forward like there's importance and the urgencies or something like that. But there's also play. You bring play to each activity and it amplifies it. It's more aligned and higher frequency. And not only that, you know, that's when time is no longer a construct that you need to live within. That's why they always say, you know, you can tell you're having fun is, you know, time flies when you're having fun, right? That's beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, it was a crazy dream. And it didn't really feel like a dream at all. Like it's one of those things. But I'm calling it a dream because that's what the parameters it existed within. But it was very lucid. It was really tongue in cheek about playing along like a dream. I find that to be funny because my guys were like, are you going to, you know, ask? Because that's what I usually do. I'm like, but I didn't want to end it. You know, sometimes it pulls my focus away just enough that I awake, you know. So hi Mila and everyone. Ascension symptoms are crazy. Colleen says, yes, they are. It's been very, very interesting to witness. The hard stuff in particular, I don't care for it. It's not been the most fun experience. It's not been as intense as it had been recently, though. You know, so I'm finding that to be a little bit of a reprieve. And speaking of reprieve, you know, we're going into a window of time that Spirit's calling reprieve. Reprieve is starting in 2 days, and it's interesting because that's the day that I'm having that show with Charmony and Sven. It's also a conjunction of Moon and Mars, and Moon's at perihelion. There's, you know, a couple of things happening. I know a lot of you know about this, but there's an additional a cluster, a swarm of 7 comets that are coming in. We're getting all the energy from them. They're all sunbound as well, on their way to the sun. There's the Kazemi that's happening with the other comets. Yeah, so I think there's a total of 10 now that they are talking about anyway. It's all coming in, and as it does, the closer to the sun it gets, it activates our sun. We get so much more solar activity every time. It looks almost like the sun's kind of like shooting at the things as they come by. It's kind of interesting. Or the comet's turning on that part of the sun or something. And as it's doing that, then all the stuff that comes off the sun is amplified by the energy of that vessel, that the knot of comets, right? And so as that moves into closer and closer to the sun, we're going to be noticing even more of it. Oh, by the way, there's a new Mandela effect that I found to be really fun. Speaking of, you know, because we've been talking about, and a lot of people have lately, I've noticed, been talking about the turn. Tartaria and Tartarus. There's a lot of different the nation of Tar, all this stuff, and this is coming up a lot. And the new Mandela effect. You remember Yosemite Sam? Remember the Looney Tunes character? He had little teeth, short little legs, and pistols. Like, so he had 2 guns, 2 pistols, and this and really big orange mustache. And he had like this cowboy hat, but it was like sombrero style because it was all bent up. And he would just hoop and holler and shoot his little pistols around. Incarnation. That him saying that has been removed from consciousness memory banks, though many of us still recall him saying incarnation. See, this is an example that I don't know if this is really a timeline jump or what, because this was a code. Him saying incarnation. Once I was reminded of this at all, reminded me of that. I saw that was like a residual, a leftover of the memory of the nation of Tar Nation, of Tartaria. I just found that to be really cool, interesting. So whether they're trying to remove it from our memory bank because of so many things are digital now or whatever, I don't know the answer to that question, but it is fascinating. It is noteworthy. And I thought that was really interesting. A Mandela effect is when something changes in history that others remember it one way, but when you go back, you find over and over again references saying that didn't happen. I believe very much that there are groups of people who are also doing it on purpose to make people not believe ourselves, trust ourselves, because we'll see, as like they, for instance, Fruit of the Loom says there was no cornucopia, and there's, you go to their official website and all this stuff, and everybody's saying that it didn't exist, and many of us have memory of it. Well, there are people pulling out old garments and things and finding, yeah, actually, it did have a cornucopia. So I feel like they're also trying to gaslight us, on top of, yeah, it's a natural occurrence, but they're trying to make us not trust ourselves. Patriot Hero says, Mila, I said early, but I just wanted you to send healing, and I'm having kidney stone pains, or assist on my kidney. Thank you. Today is my birthday too. Okay, thank you for telling me. I appreciate that, Patriot Hero. If you've commented before I go live, I won't see your comment. You're welcome to. I just won't see it when I come on. And so I really appreciate it when you repeat. So I know I will definitely send healing to this, the area of your kidneys and the kidney stones. You're going to be okay. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. Happy birthday. Yeah, I understand what you're going through. I know this sounds silly, but I mean, I can't stop seeing cranberries and cranberry juice commercials, and it's just all flooding in my head. So that's something that maybe will help. I don't really know. Actually, I've never looked at what's a natural healing remedy too. I remember I knew somebody who drank a beer a day to stop his kidney stones. I'm not telling anyone to drink. This is not something I'm doing, but I believe it has to do with the hops in it. And so you can do some research and find out. Just also to let you know, though, it is being resolved currently. So mote it be. Uh-huh. Thank you for your comment. Oh, and hello, Yolanda Marie. I'm sorry I was distracted. It's good to see you. Welcome. Feeling peace and light everywhere. I am blessed to be on this journey with you all. No matter what, we are blessed, Gina. Yes. Aho. Thank you so much for your comment. It's beautiful. The connectivity that we initiated in that place, the cave of the spring waters, where the tattooed whales came up, and there were beings from above that I just didn't, they were made out of light, and so they were more fluid, but there were also ancient ones standing along the edge, like the mouth of this water, this beautiful water that as it trickled and flowed, it made the the ceilings and the walls of this cave light up like glowing diamonds. It was amazing. Something changed when we did that. And these ancient ones were really tall, by the way. These tribesmen is what I'm calling them. I find it fascinating that I don't recall seeing a female among them. They were very, very tall, each at least 7 feet tall. These individuals, and their baritone voice was so intense. It was beautiful. It was really cool. I just jumped really far, so I'm just gonna grab it. Gina, Mila, I was told not to give my energy away, but to amplify it and radiate my light out. Exactly. I see it as spillover. You know, it's fun to come up with different ways to help explain this. And it's very much that. It's your appendage of your light. You're not meant to give it away. You're not meant to purse it out. It's connected still to you. It's just kind of like it's like you caressing someone's hair. You're not going to give them your hand to do that. You know, it's something like that. So yeah, definitely. Having fresh roasted chestnuts as the tree produced bunches this year, delicious and golden energy. Awesome, Don. Hello, Matthew. Good to see you. Welcome. Don, that sounds delicious. It does. It really says. Is anyone else having the energetic jolts in the back, like all the time now? Yeah, it's like electricity almost. It's like in particular on the shoulder blades, not at the same time. And I'm also noticing it like on the shoulder, like at the shoulder point, kind of frequently. This is exactly energetic jolts. I like that. That's a good way of describing it. It feels electric. It really does. This I know is some type of activation regarding the wings, the energetic wings that we all have. You know, it's amazing how much more of our energy exists outside of the physical vessel that we're in that we don't always consider. And so, but there's something about this. There's a trine of the heart and the wings. We have the plate that is the breastplate and the shoulder blades that are also plates. And these plates have this trine energy, this triangle Merkaba kind of thing that happens here. And so it feels very much like an activation here, you know. And I also see that Genevieve is also in agreement that she's had that too. And yeah, it's not just you. That's been the one that's been actually bothering me for a little while. Bothering me, meaning it brings you out of sleep. It's like, whoa, what was that? You know, like it feels. Sometimes I've mistranslated it as like a mosquito or a bee sting or something like that, because it's. And then, you know, of course, it's not. But yeah, it's been going on and off for about a month or maybe longer. It's really interesting. Yep, upper back. Thank you, Deborah. A lot of people are having this. Does it always amp up at night? Yep, it does for me. Still happens all throughout the day, but nighttime seems to be intensified. Exactly the same for me. Thank you, Matthew. Yeah, exactly the same. Like even I'll notice even when I'm in meditation, like when I'm going down to a restful state, is when it really comes up, and it's so frustrating. You know, finally you get to go to sleep, and here it is. The celestial heat burn burn-ups get crazy. Yeah, dude, they do get so intense, and as they're coming in, so we had the really good example of a Muamua that was the most similar to this Nada comment that's coming in. And it's called a 3-eye atlas because it's the third interstellar object that they've said that they're saying they've ever detected. And as it comes in, it's similar to a Muamua, which was the first, which was back in, I believe, 2017. 14, 15, wait, 7. It must have been 17. I think it was around the eclipse that was in Idaho, when we were in Idaho, the total solar eclipse back then. Anyway, is that that at that time we were at solar minimum, meaning we didn't have very much activity coming off of the sun. And that as Oumuamua approached the sun, all of a sudden it woke up as if it is in solar maximum, the behavior of in which is similar to what it is like now, right now. And it showed us the closer that these bodies get to the sun, the more activity you'll see upon the sun. Well, we're at solar maximum still, and will be for over a year more from now. And so as these celestial bodies move toward the sun, we're going to notice the picking up of the sun activities. The behavior of the sun's going to come up and wake up in a way that's going to be louder. Nighttime has been hard for me. My hands just feel like they are on fire, and with the kidney pains, I can't sleep. That's a lot. I'm sending you healing and love. Yeah, that's that I know what you're talking about the hands and feet too. The activation of the healing hands often is in conjunction simultaneous to the soles of the feet. It's very bizarre, I know. And if you can do healing hand meditations or qigong kind of stuff where you're becoming, you're doing this with your palms at the beginning and like playing with your energy, you can feel your energy a lot easier when you do it this way first, but then just kind of feel it. A lot of with love too. I noticed that when I do it, as I'm doing it with love, it's easier to grow this energy, and you can feel it like a big orb that's coming out of your heart center, kind of like Care Bears, right? And you're playing with this energy now, so now it's moving between your hands and through your whole body. And now you have this big giant orb of energy that's filling you up that's bringing me to tears right now as I do it, and then you can take that and just send it out, and you can send it to the people. A lot of you may have felt that, it's this love. And this helps to, it's like an aching in a muscle that needs to be used is how I translate this stuff, the activation of the healing hands. So playing with your hands in this way, and the feet. I'll actually sit in meditation. I'll put my feet together like you're sitting lotus kind of, but I'll put the soles of my feet together and the palms of my hands to kind of start the process. That often will really help. Going out and grounding, walking on the earth often helps a lot too, if possible, but I'm noticing it more at night, and a lot of times you don't want to go wandering out into the dark, or you're cold or whatever, so you're just tired enough that you don't really. So that's a way to do it. And you're building this muscle back up again, so it really does help. What in tarnation is going on here? I know. Isn't that really interesting? The tarnation being Mandela out of here, like we're not supposed to talk about it anymore or something. I think it feels like more like, hey, remember this, instead of being like, you know what I mean? Hello, Hugo. Just got in. Hello, everyone. Blessings from New York City. Welcome. Good to see you. Yay, it's been a while for me. Glad to be here live today, Sneak 69. Yeah, I've actually thought about you recently. I'm happy to see you. Welcome. I remember y'all, and when you don't show up for a bit, I notice that you're missing, and I miss you. Gina says, it's been a batshit crazy ride. Yes, girl. Yes. 1 minute, it's all love. And next, I'm crying and big time purging again. Then the calm comes in again. Phew. Yeah, dude. It's been really quite a ride, this roller coaster of energy. It's been really intense. The partial solar eclipse, by the way, started 58 minutes ago. So it should be over now. I believe it should be over, but we're going to feel it. We're going to feel it for a while. That eclipse happened simultaneous to the new moon and the moment of the equinox. And so we're going to be in this equinox all day. The next couple of days, we're going to be in this energy for all these different things. This is a really good time to plant. This is when you choose what your tomorrows will bring. This is a really powerful new moon. And so I encourage you to utilize this energy to manifest what world you want to be in when you wake up tomorrow. You know, and with it, you can feel all of this influx energy that you're talking about, Gina. Pardon me. The purging is also crying is purging. Crying, excuse me, I just keep burping. Crying is transmutation. Excuse me, spirit calls it um, spirit calls it spiritual technology, to give me a kind of a placeholder to kind of know what it's for. And it's like a Pleiadian technology. For us to be able to cry like we do is something that some energies envy or would desire. And then purging and the other ways too, noticing it, frequent bathroom trips, this kind of this almost phlegm or mucus kind of leaving a lot of different places of your body. So we'll have weird like drainages coming out of our ears or nasal or coughing and different kinds of stuff like that. But then also, coming out of our pores. And so we're noticing this weird, not acne stuff. That's, our skin irritation stuff coming out through the pores. And it's all across the board right now. I asked a while back what it would look like if we just got it done, and we don't want to. Our bodies would dry up and die dehydration. So we have a lot to purge. There's this one hair that keeps connecting to my eyelash, and it's driving me crazy. Anyway, and so, as we're purging this, remember to replenish your body with water, with mineral salt, with, like pink Himalayan or pink salt, or, like Celtic salt, gray salt. These kinds of salts have the highest mineral content. In fact, Celtic has the highest of all of them that I'm aware of. I'm sure there's something else, but our bodies require 92 minerals, and the Celtic salt has 82. And the ocean has 92, I'm told. I don't know how to get the other 10, but I haven't really thought about it. Anyway, and then pink Himalayan, I believe, is 79 minerals. And then river salt is 72 minerals. So anyway, you can see, and these are the minerals our body requires. A lot of us were born with these minerals, or I believe all of us were, and we eventually deplete, empty our stores, and need to replenish them. So excuse me, pardon me. And so allowing yourself to just, remember, this is being sweated out through the purging in our through our skin. And so it's good it's a needed replenishment that's already needed, and just even more now. You'll find electrolytes in the salt, much better electrolytes than the sugary drinks that they say are for sport people or stuff. That's not. Oh, that stuff's so bad for us anyway. You do what you want. That's just something that we don't do. Hey, y'all, says Jess. Hey, Jess. 100% intense eclipse today or day. Glad to be here. Thank you, dear Mila. And happy birthday, Patriot Hero. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, it's been real intense this past little bit. We've had some crazy, awesome energies, but man, sometimes it's like, man, where do I stand? And even how should I stand? Gina says definite chronic gaslighting against humanity. The light is one. Oh, I love that play on words. Yes, we are. And there's no longer, I do kind of feel like I want to make a coffee mug that says told you, and just, every once in a while, just grab that coffee mug and just take a sip. You know what I mean? But it's not because I really want to say I told you so. I thought I really would want to, I really did. And, now we're here. It's like, I'm glad that everyone's figuring it out. I'm glad that it's not as disruptive as it could have been. I'm really happy that spirit and energy and all the things that have lined up have done so to gradually help the unknowing learn, then gain the knowledge and discover the reality we've been existing in. And not just them, but us as well. Like there's so many things that we hadn't even really considered, like didn't even think to consider, that are coming forward, and it makes sense. Like that's what's so much fun, is watching all of the people awaken just like this, where it's like this piece of knowledge comes through for you, and there's a moment of what, but at the same time it's so obvious that that's true, that it doesn't take very long to digest it. It's like, oh, well, that makes complete sense. And then within that same moment, you don't remember often. I don't recall a moment where I didn't know that. So much that it becomes unremarkable, even though a moment ago I was like, what? And then you forget to share it. You forget that it's important to talk about, because you're like, well, yeah, I don't remember not knowing that. And almost to the point where you wonder, maybe I've even thought to myself, have I been the only one that didn't know, or something, right? And so you don't think to remark on it until someone brings it up. It becomes a question. And then it's like, oh yeah, let's talk about that. And that's what I love so much about these shows and these gatherings that we do. Every Wednesday we do group meetings. Every Tuesday we do meditation group. It's like a subscription based one, that's a love donation one, but it's really been so much fun to have like these kind of conversations and have it come out, and that we can see past the gaslighting now. We can see past, just like Gina said, we can see past the false truth. Did you know that drinking apple cider vinegar mixed with water helps break down kidney stones? That makes a lot of sense. Apple cider vinegar is it feels like the Windex from my big fat Greek wedding. The dad, he's like, Windex, you got something going on, Windex, your eye sore, Windex on your eyeball, but like, it feels like that with apple cider vinegar. It's amazing. I'm making a big giant batch right now on my counter. I'm also making a video to show you how to do it. It's incredibly easy to do. It's shockingly easy to do. At first there's like this nervous, oh, I don't know if I'm going to ruin it or something like that. And you really can't ruin this. Clean your apples, make sure you get all the wax and stuff off of them. But I noticed that, well, every time, like, you can toss in all kinds of scraps. You don't need the whole apples to do it. And something I just recently discovered, you can use apple cider vinegar instead of alcohol to make tinctures. And I've never done that before. So I'm making something right now. I'm doing a wormwood, black walnut, and whole clove, black walnut husk and whole clove. I think I put way too much black walnut husk in there, though, because it came in powder form. But we'll see. I'm pretty sure I way overdid it there, though. Anyway, this will be fun to see how it turns out. It's meant to be it's a tincture, it's the essence of it, and it's a medicine. But anyway, it's kind of fun. So anyway, yeah, apple cider vinegar is awesome stuff. Been very calm in the UK for 2 days. Not so much in the toilet. Definitely high end of the purge. If a Red Riding Hood, you're hilarious. And yeah, everybody's been talking about it. It's across the planet too. That's the part. A lot of times people will say, well, this is this kind of season or that season. This is, but I mean, we're talking about all climates, all regions. Everyone's purging right now. I have been noticing that there's been the area around me. There's been more. My neighborhood seems to have more arguing people in it right now, and not real big, but enough that it's like I'm sending transmutation over there just because, I want to sip my tea in peace. is where it usually starts. It's like, ugh, and then I release it from myself enough that I am an awareness. Oh yeah, let's clear out for everybody else too. That's how most healings are designed, is that we're addressing something that's disruptive for us, and as a result it heals others. Is this a selfish act? No. It's been characterized as it, trying to sell this belief to the population that it's a selfish act when it's not, in order to stop us from this flow. Because as within, so without. And not so much even a manifestation way, but as you clear your own energy, all within your vicinity benefit from it. Just as the plant growing closest to you will have the nutrients and minerals and things that your specific body requires more than something grown a few miles down the road, a few states down the road, a few countries down the road, right? The farther away that it's growing from you, the fewer of what your body requires it will contain. And so too does it happen with our own healing, is that we affect our environment. You can't help it. You notice that things happen around you, and people are drawn to you in ways, it's so beautiful, and allowing yourself to be in those moments and just observe in love. It's so beautiful. I don't know where I was going with that, except I was just thinking about the past few days. It's been so beautiful. It really has. Good to see you, Crystal. Hey, tuning in from North Carolina. All right, North Carolina. I've actually been tapping in North Carolina a lot lately. Welcome. Good to see you. There's a lot going on energetically there. It feels like there is less evil in the world, and we're in a waiting room, waiting for the next cool thing as one family. I do feel that way for Riding Hood. I said that really fast. Infrared Riding Hood. I feel that too. Just as I said that, I've been on for 0 1 hour, 0 1 second, and 0 1 minute and 0 1 second. That was kind of funny. But yeah, there is. I totally agree with you. It does feel like it's that the next waiting room. I feel like we're in the waiting room of the waiting room. Like they already called your name and you get all excited. Finally, I see you guys. Hi, everybody that you're sitting out there in that really nasty, like Febreze smelling place with all those magazines and people. And you're like, okay, now it's my turn. And then you get into the other waiting room and they'll say, they'll be here to see you. And when they get a chance, and then they close the door and you're like, oh, now I'm in isolation waiting. What kind of feels sort of like that, where it's like, oh, almost, okay. Like that's where we are right now, though. This part's the exciting part. Any moment. Also, that's how spirit comes in. Like the sensation of parents who can't wait for Christmas morning because they got something that they just really, the child really, they can't wait for the child to open it. I can really resonate with that sensation, having, a daughter myself and just really loving. I'm not that person who waits very well. She likes surprises. And I'm that person that's like, I'll wait until about a month. And then now it's a month away from your birthday. Now I just can't wait anymore. Can I just give it to you? It's like, so that's what it feels like, in a lot of ways from spirit. They're super excited between the shoulder blades, the back of the head and neck. But that's new for me this week. It's like a needle prick stuck electricity under my feet, really intense. Maya, I know exactly what you're talking about. That also started to happen with me specifically as the flow of energy began. And this was a download that happened on the 25th of March that was to show us what's happening for all of us and will continue to happen for some time, is that the light is being delivered to the hippocampus, which if you can touch your nose and go all the way back into your brain, which why would you want to, but then you'd be touching your hippocampus. The hippocampus is located between the brain stem and the pineal gland above it. This is responsible for long-term memory. And as we're being reunited with our memories from previous incarnations, our soul memory, our Akashic, our personal Akashic is being restored. This light is being amplified here in this place, in this hippocampus region. And as a result, it's growing the light of our third eye, of our pineal gland. And it's also expelling that which has attached to the brain stem, to the back of the mind. The naysayer voice, the low self-worth, the you're not good enough voice is in the back of the mind, right? We always refer to it. We know where it's located. We always say it. Well, that's being purged. And we're noticing as it's purged energetically, like a parasite would be, that there is a physical result, like a trademark or footprint left behind. And as this happens, we're noticing a bunch of like acne or boil or ingrown hair kind of stuff going on down the upper back and neck and hair. I noticed it a lot on the left side, like behind the ear, not the ear itself, like on the neck. There was a lot of that right after, and many reports about a variety of things around this area of the body. And this isn't the only cause, though I'm finding this to be really, really very consistent and super common. So I should actually wrap this up. I'm feeling really floaty energy, and it's been so great having conversations with you all. I really need to pull back for just a minute. And we've been on for a little over an hour. So I am going to close this up, but just going to answer a couple more. That one in 2018 got backtracked on the PC, and it showed it came from the Pleiadian star system. Oh, really? That's really interesting. It was in 2017, I believe. But I think that's if you're talking about Oumuamua, got backtracked on a PC, and it showed it came from the Pleiadian star system. That's really cool. I don't know. that would make sense though. Well, when I first connected to them, I actually didn't even know that people knew about it. I really didn't. I was off grid. I didn't know. I never saw any news about it. However, I went there. I visited them. I went onto this vessel. Well, first I observed them. It was like I was floating in space or something, but we were swimming, and there was this big rock, and it looked like a big rock, but then it didn't look that big. I was far enough away, and as I approached, I felt the sheer enormity of it. Like I felt the gravity of it or something, and I explored it. The beings in it felt like a whole civilization, like the population of a planet said, "Let's go." And they all got on this vessel and went. And I found them to have very Spockian kind of energy, like that, not really emotional. They're also super indifferent. Like I felt like in their presence, I was kind of like a stray cat that they didn't really have a problem with, but they didn't really pay attention. It's like, oh, just someone here again. It's kind of what it felt like. It was really interesting. And then fast forward, then people start talking about it, and I'm like, I was on that. That looked just like it. And the fact that it did what it did, I didn't know. I had no idea. And so for me, that was very validating. I love that I didn't know, because that made my experience be more pure for me. You know what I mean? I choose not to click a lot of things because of that. I will click more things these days. Like I'll get updates on celestial activity and stuff for the benefit to share, with you all. But there isn't a lot, of stuff that I choose to click anymore. But anyway, yeah, once again, happy birthday to Patriot Hero. Blessings for healing. Thank you, Gina. And if anyone who is here would like to send loving healing over to Patriot Hero, he's having some kidney stone, cyst kind of blockage stuff going on that's really painful, and so he could really benefit from any energetic healing that you might offer to him. And if you do, and I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. He's a beautiful energy who deserves to be in alignment and in love and in balance and in peace, So, and I want to, all of you are, you're all amazing. I love you. And oh, hey, I'm going to grab this one. Bella says, just Googled who says what incarnation. So the answer is on Google. The answer was Yosemite Sam. That's really interesting. I'm going to share the video that popped up about this. for one reason or another, this became a video. I wondered to myself, I'm like, was this done by someone like the light? You know what I mean? To remind us that he says, you know, Tarnation, Tartaria Nation. You know, is that why? It's really cool. I'm gonna check. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that, Bella. Thank you all. Sending all of you so much loving, amazing equinox, partial solar eclipse, new moon energy of love and peace and joy. I encourage you, if you get a chance, to take a moment at some point today, if you can, and to consider what you would like to manifest for the coming year. There's a lot of planting of the seeds at this time. You will reap what you sow now in the later days. You'll see a lot of it coming through in a couple of weeks when we come to the next full moon, and amplifying within that it's like it builds on top of each other, like the reverse action nesting doll, you know, the Russian nesting dolls, babushka dolls, I think is what they're called. You know, where there's one within another it's like they were adding a bigger and awesomer one on top of each one. Yeah, that's right. I turned awesome into awesomer. Sending all of you so much love. Thank you all for being here. And if you do get a chance, we do have a Telegram group, and in that Telegram group, I thought I was gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Anyway, I've been holding that sneeze this whole show. I like literally was gonna sneeze like right as I started going live. Anyway, that was funny. In that Telegram group, there's a link in the description of this video if you want to join. It's free. We have a bunch of meditations that we've done recently, these guided meditations. It's been so awesome and amazing. What a treat it is to meet with all of you and do this group meditation. And they're timeless, and so you can do them anytime. You can go back and do any of them. Yeah, so I encourage you, especially the past couple of meditations that we've done. It's wow, we're doing all these soul contract removal things, and the places that we're going is just profound. So if you do get a chance, there's a lot of healing to be found in that. I'm sending all of you so much love. Aho blessings.